Hey, what is up, all you heartthrobs out there in Headhunter and Recruiter land, as well as Ursa, Neil's group, as well as Recruiters Online, and whoever else may be unlucky enough to catch this live stream. Welcome to the Headhunters and Boxers Talking Smack. So, with that said, this is your boy DSP, David Stephen Patterson, and I love you all. Here with my beautiful co-host, definitely aging very, very well.
Thank
He's
you,
looking
sir.
very. You are what was it? Silverback. I'm gonna call you Silverback.
I'm 57. This is what people don't understand. I don't look great until they say you're 57. Then like, wow, you look awesome. But if you think I'm 40, I'm not very attractive. I don't have a lot going on. 57, I'm rocking it.
You are right. You look great for 70. I'll tell you that.
70, I'm gonna kick ass.
But that said, Neil, my co-host Neil Lovovitz, welcome, and our guest for today, Shafiur Rahman from Chatterworks. And so we're gonna have a special deal for you guys. If any of you guys want some free contact information for candidates or potential clients, we're gonna hook you up today. But that said, welcome, Shafiur.
No, Thank you. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Shafiur, isn't your name the? And I'm not being funny. And Aladdin, weren't you the guy in Aladdin? What was his name?
No, that's Jafar.
Oh, Jafar. Were you the guy with the pan flute that sold all that pan flute guy? What was he called?
I don't know who that guy was.
Shafiur.
But I'd be happy if I wasn't Aladdin.
Jafar. That's really rude of me. That sounds very racist.
No,
I didn't
not
know
at all.
it was the same name. I swear to God.
No,
he had the scepter.
Exactly. Yeah, and the scepter, the pointy kind of chin.
Yeah.
Is that what we know? Is that when we know the show is Jump the Shark? When Neil brings up pan flutes in the first 5 minutes.
What is a pan flute anyway, right? Like, how did that become an instrument? But there's only one guy. Zamfir is the only one. He sold. I think when I was younger, they sold more albums than the Beatles. Zamfir. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Like it was a mail order, get his album, and it's that little wooden thing, right? It's like a wooden thing that
the wooden with the little
And you only find them at your local Renaissance festival, by the way.
Right.
Right next to the dragon display with the dragon crystals and the medallions, and right next to that stand,
all the fat people walking around eating a friggin' 5-pound turkey leg at those things, right? That
exactly.
Fat. They're like nothing. I mean, I don't know if it's me, but at Disney World too, when they walk around, like, why at a theme park do you?
They have those big turkey legs, right?
Like, who's like, I'm in the mood for not cotton candy, not chicken nugget, no
churros.
Turkey legs.
Yeah.
That's just me.
So speaking of Disney, there's a secret. If you go up to somebody who's selling turkey legs at a little stand, if you go there and squawk like a turkey, they will give you a free turkey leg.
Get out of here.
That's funny.
We have to try that one.
Trip to the local asylum.
Yeah. But that said, the Renaissance Festival is a great example of branding, because I tell you, go to the Renaissance Festival, they curse and they drink. It's like Disney before adults. You know what I mean? It's fun. There's gypsy girls flopping their boobs all around and their dances, and I tell you, it's great for the whole family.
Yeah. Well, because
a lot of fun.
Women, they can take out their inner sexy when they go there. It's like Halloween, right? Like, you can't just dress up as a sexy cop. It's sexy. Insert this here. Sexy milk delivery. Sexy CVS up. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same. There's no way in Renaissance that all women dress like that with their stuff.
I've never been to one. I haven't been fortunate enough.
Have you ever been to Renaissance Festival? All right. So first off, you should need to go. But secondly, are you telling me, Neil, that I can't dress up as a sexy cop for Halloween? I make a good sexy cop.
You make a delightful sexy cop. You don't have to dress up, David, to be sexy. You have your inner sexy, outwardly sexy. I think, but these things, that Halloween is a pent up. It's a way for women to release parts of themselves that they feel they can't release the rest of the year, and I think it's sad. I think if you want to go to work in fishnet stockings and dress up like a mailman, you should do that on February 5th, as an example.
You're so progressive, Neil. You are so progressive. I mean,
I
really.
am. I am. I just think
Fighting
if
for
everyone
women's
could,
rights
yeah.
every day.
So that's the show. Thank you, Shafar, for showing. No, I'm kidding.
Of course.
I'm joking.
Well, so let's talk about the business Shafiur and Chatterworks. So you know, Shafiur reached out to me. We've been in contact now for a while. And Shafiur actually has a bit of a history in the I guess what's not content management, but the content identification space. So why don't you tell us about that? Because it was when we were talking before about your history in the space. It was interesting because you have a bit of a pedigree, if you will.
Yeah, I
No
was
one.
fortunate enough to join a company called Connectify, very early stage, back in 2014, I believe. We grew that company rather quickly. I mean, we went from a small little subway shack into a nice office with 50 people, and then a LinkedIn acquisition. And under, I think, about 2 years when I was there, I then joined LinkedIn for a little bit after that. And since then, obviously, LinkedIn sunset the product as they wanted, obviously, the data out of the market space, right? They don't want that social information, the phone numbers, emails. LinkedIn's goal is to like keep you on LinkedIn and using InMail and so forth. And then from there, I eventually parted ways, and after that kind of merger and acquisition, and I always had a passion for recruiting, as you know, building, scaling startups. The first thing you got to do is build your team, and how do you build the best team? You know, the days of posting a job and waiting for applicants to apply are gone. You have to go headhunt, right? You have to get out there and find the team you want and try and poach that talent. And I didn't really realize how important that kind of information was until I joined Connectifier back then. The personal phone numbers, the emails, and outreach. And that's kind of what we're doing at Chatterworks. There's a lot of tools out there that provide contact information and data, but our goal is to become kind of the science and intelligence of recruiting. So we're going to take all of that data, analyze every individual we have, and then kind of give you this sense of how do you engage, how do you take them from sourcing to engagement. So our goal is to provide the when, where, and how to engage. So if I'm looking at your public profiles, I'm able to say, hey, you know, do you spend, as an example, 47% of your time on Twitter versus 14% on LinkedIn, and then 9% on Facebook, and so forth. And then average through some analysis over the last 6 months, we'll say, hey, David's best time to engage with him is Tuesdays in the evenings via Twitter or something like that, right? And then build out that automation, sequencing, and engagement, and then really enhance candidate matching with ATS systems.
Like my upgrades that I have for my email marketing system that uses the AI to say that David looks at he opens his emails most. David, if you want to reach David, he's opening his emails. Wednesday seems to be the sweet spot for David. Same thing, yeah?
Yeah, so in a sense, but we're
cool.
going across all of your social data. So it's just not like email.
Yeah. So before all that, at the surface, you compete with what, Seamless, Zoom Info, Swordfish, those kind of things. I know you don't, because they don't do that stuff, but at the surface, is that where you're going to be lumped?
Yes. So at the surface initially, yes, because we're doing the contact search, contact data, and all that. And as we deploy kind of the engagement and the social intelligence and so forth, that'll be kind of a separator at that side.
So
and I will tell you, actually, I'm using Zoom. I'm using Chatterworks right now, so I've got it. I'm using it for my tactical team, and we use it in conjunction with Zoom Info and Seamless and other tools to get contact information for clients. We've been using it now for a couple months, and it's really nice. I mean, it's actually it's pretty solid, especially for something that's still not even fully, because you're still baking it, right? I mean, you're still, you know,
yeah, absolutely.
But it's pretty solid so far. I guess the question I have is you know, obviously works on like Twitter, you know, and Zoom and LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
I spend most of my time on Backpage and Craigslist, you know, M4M, and I'm curious. You know,
that's he's big funny.
for a guy like me, who's a Backpage aficionado. I'm just kidding. For those who don't know, Backpage is
joke. Like 2% of the people watching this get what you just said.
Yeah. If you go to Backpage, delete the browsing history before your wife catches you. That's all I'm trying to say. Anyway, sorry I interrupted Neil. Go ahead.
No, you didn't interrupt me. Not at all.
And just to clarify one thing too. So when I said the days of people posting jobs and waiting for people to apply are kind of past, that's not what I meant by that. What I'm trying to say is that while you're going to get a ton of applications coming through, it's pretty inefficient for you to spend your time screening all those applications. Our system's going to go analyze all those applicants for you and surface kind of based off your job rec, intelligent matching, and our own database, create this kind of 360 profile, and then help you surface like the top candidates that we assume for the role based off our intelligence. So I didn't get a further clarify. I just want to clarify on that as well.
Yeah, so, and how are you able to compare? Like, do you compare at least on the data being this young, like with the Seamless or like with a Zoom Info that gets mobile phone numbers? Like they took like decades to get all that stuff, and I don't know how they keep it current. But like Zoom Info charges $25,000 a year for one license for their major top product, and it sounds like you're going to offer a lot more than what they give you on that, and people buy that.
Yeah, absolutely. So our goal is to focus on, you know, the individual recruiter, right? We know that several companies have large amount of recruiters, and a lot of people are focused on like account names and so forth. But our goal is to just focus on, I believe, there's like 1 million plus recruiters in the U.S. Per LinkedIn, and then provide tools that they can all use. So we're more volume use than like set this premium price, get premium accounts, and charge an arm and a leg when we know if we get the right volume, we'll be fine. So we want to price it at an affordable solution, especially given the time, the tough times everyone's been facing since 2020, coming into 2021, trying to get back up to speed and get the economy going. Yeah, so our initial, like I said, we're just starting for our first 1,000 users. We're providing the $100 a month per seat for full access to everything. Yeah, for unlimited data.
Credits to like export things or
yeah. So if you're a paid account, you'll have export. You can export your data, upload it to your CRM or ATS. We'll even work to integrate with your particular ATS.
But is there a limit? Is there a limit for that?
No, not. There's no limit. It's unlimited access.
Competes with like a Seamless that offers that if you get a coupon code where you can get unlimited per month. That's great. That's about the cheapest out there for good quality stuff. I mean, Zoom Info. I can get Zoom Info for people that want it. I get the $25,000 package. I get it for a fraction of that, but still way more than what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, like I said, we're here to help, and we want feedback. So that's the way we kind of price it so low, so we can work with people, get the return feedback. In fact, we made a lot of enhancements. We just launched on November 1st, and we've onboarded a little over 650 users in the last 60 days, and we're getting great feedback, and we're making our search enhancements based off those feedback. So it's a help for us to be able to price it so low, so people actually use it, feel less valuable, and then want to work with us to make it better.
Do you have any lifetime deals for folk?
That is a lifetime. So for our first 1,000 users, that price is locked in for life.
What's the price on again?
$100 a month per seat, including for example, like partners like you guys, we'll extend that. So we'll probably create some sort of code for you guys as well. So it's just not going to be for the first 1,000. We'll extend it for your groups. And they get to lock it in for life as long as they maintain the kind of active subscription. There's no contract. It's just month to month.
Going $4.99 a month, $3.99 a month.
So when we launch our full insights and engagement, we'll probably be at. Our goal is to always keep it low, like a $2.95 a month when we go full pricing.
Oh, that's great. Still, that's highly competitive. I mean, but again, no one's really. Is anyone doing? I haven't seen. I mean, I'm very into tech and gadgets, as you know. Those of you watching, we got a new show every Wednesday with Chris Wessel. It's called Level Up, and it's all about technology and the latest things. Anyone else doing this? I haven't seen that. You know what you're talking about?
No, we've taken kind of. We've taken kind of a unique approach to understanding the data. Like I said, everyone provides the data. Here you go. Go do what you want with it. They set up great email automation and sequencing, but they don't really analyze the individuals and the information coming across all that data points from all their posts, their activity, everything they're doing to give you this kind of holistic view and really how to really engage. Because LinkedIn's an amazing tool. I love LinkedIn. I built my network on there. I use it every day. But unfortunately, like when you're reaching out, at least from my experience, the in-mails, I'm not getting a lot of responses when you do the in-mail response and so forth. And then now we're trying to give a different avenue. Where are people really active? Like if I can tell you that you're more active on Twitter, say 50% of the time more than LinkedIn, why would I try and send you an email if I knew that? So I would try to create different engagement channels.
You could think, well, so what? Like my first reaction is, I mean, I know how to use this, right? But the first reaction might be, so what? Like I'll reach him on Twitter, I'll reach him on LinkedIn, and he'll get to me when he gets to me. So what? I don't need him to respond that second. But the reality is, stuff like that will tell you where you should focus your energy on. So it wouldn't just be like, fine, I can reach him on Twitter Wednesdays. The point is, I'm going to go to Twitter, I'm going to find one of his posts, I'm going to comment on it and engage with him differently than I would if I didn't have that info. My angle is going to be Twitter commenting for David to then turn that into a conversation or direct message, right?
Absolutely.
That's the
Absolutely.
point.
Yes.
In fact, I'll say this: two things. First off, I did notice that somebody says Shaft has some great thing coming out of Chatterworks. I'm sure that's Greta Thunberg, or how dare you? But anyway, that said, in terms of what you mentioned as far as like engaging, so just as a quick little tidbit for you folks, if you want to increase your connection rate, now with candidates it's different because candidates, I think you kind of, if you have a job that you're recruiting for, I mean, it's you've got something in the hand. It's a lot more straightforward. But for clients or prospecting for new business, and every recruiter out there is trying to connect and get on their calendars, and what do you have to really offer? Because you're all saying the same shit anyway. That engaging thing does work quite well. One thing that's worked well for us in Tactical Link, we're actually coming out with this where you can like follow and engage and then connect all automated in a sequence. That's actually on a roadmap. But what I'm doing right now is I run duck soup and I follow, and then once I follow, and then I put them all in Tactical Link for it to connect. And I'm getting a much higher connection rate because they see me following and I'm on their profile. And then like a day or two later, they get a connection request. It's just like a little tip. It does actually increase the
Yeah, but as
rate.
you should create an acronym. If there could only be an acronym for follow, unengage, connect. I don't know what that would be. But
oh yeah,
I should whiteboard this out.
We should come up with something that's easy to remember.
Oh man, I was going. So that said, and another little tidbit too. I want to say this real quick, and it's a little topic, but you mentioned in-mails, right?
Mhm.
I for one hate in-mails, but you know what actually works pretty well? This is kind of ninja. Did you know on LinkedIn? So if you advertise on LinkedIn, you can target. You can actually, let's say you have a I don't know, a sign up thing, right, or whatever. Like, so for example, for me, I want people to sign up. Once they watch my training, I want them to sign up for and book a call with me or one of my growth advisors, right? If I see they're on my training page, but they haven't hit my calendar page, right? I can create a custom audience on LinkedIn, and you can do message advertisements. So you can actually, so Neil, if you go to my training page but don't book a call, you can actually be served up an ad by me in your inbox, LinkedIn inbox, with me saying, hey, I noticed you didn't book a call after our training or whatever, right?
That's great.
Not actually knowing your name or who you are.
Dude, hold on.
Cool.
This is a game. This is beyond ninja. I'm all over this crap. I have every AI advertising tool like you're really good at. Like we get, like I got stuff when they hit my website, how Facebook can then advertise. Like I get all that. What's this? Quickly.
I know that sounds pretty neat.
How and where? What's it called?
So basically just create a custom audience on LinkedIn of people who have visited that. When you saw the insight tag, it's like a pixel. Well, you know what that is. And you create an audience of people who've been on the training page, but have not been on, like, after they book a call, they go to what I call a success page. Like, hey, congratulations, you booked your call. So people who have hit the training page, but have not hit this page, and to that audience, you just run an ad, and you do in LinkedIn, you can choose a messenger ad. And the ad is, hey, I noticed you were on training. You didn't book a call. Love to talk to you or whatever. Now you only use their name in there.
Pixels, so you give them the pixels. You give them the insight link, or you just do it yourself with your own system.
Well, no. What happens is that when you create a LinkedIn advertising account, you create a LinkedIn pixel and you just install that on your site.
You're driving from a LinkedIn ad. You're driving from a LinkedIn ad, not from people just hitting your website outside of LinkedIn.
Right. What's a LinkedIn ad? But their pixel via the site. So what happens is because they're just like with Facebook retargeting, they hit your site, they're pixeled, and then LinkedIn knows to serve the ad, provided they were not on the success page after they book a call.
Right, but will LinkedIn require you to have run an ad to pick up the pixel, the insight, right? Or so that's awesome. That's friggin'. I'm gonna all over it and stuff like that for anyone out there. Not to digress, but this is what the show does. And at least we're digressing on business stuff that helps them. We're not talking about David and I rubbing chests on a beach in a romantic, bromance thing, right? This is, but everyone needs to do stuff like this to their audience, right? Like, so we're doing a rebranding at Boss Back Office Staffing Solutions for your temporary placement needs. So we're going to wait a little bit, but we've been running like everyone. I see you all like, how much money are you spending on ad? I see you everywhere. I'm like, we're not everywhere. We're every that person and group because we have their list. We're using pixels. And we know who we're targeting. Facebook, again, amazing. You upload that, like all my people watching this, like we're targeting you people. That's why you see it when you did, right? Anywho.
Yeah. Well, in fact, I can tell you this. If you want another little ninja tip. So let's say, Shafiur, I'm sorry, we're going off the.
No, this is perfect. I'm learning from you guys too, so this is great.
So one thing we started implementing, for the digital headhunter for our outbound team, and we're actually about to implement it for Kineta Group. And provided that we see success there, we're going to implement it for our tactical clients. Okay, so just a little plug there. But anyway, so what we do is. So say, all right, I've got these 1,000 prospects I want to reach out to. So let's say they're hiring managers, right? And you have your team or have a VA go and scrape their email addresses, get their personal email addresses. You can actually set up through their integrations to LinkedIn and even Facebook, where let's say you're going to run them through a 30-day campaign, messaging campaign. A week prior, just start running ads to those who you'll be able to scrape or find personal email addresses for, right? And then what happens is, so you're running ads to them, kind of prepping them. So when you reach out, they've already kind of seen you already, so they're more familiar. And the ones where you can't find their personal email addresses, as long as you have links system links in your campaign, and they click a link, they're tagged, so you're getting them as well. And you can literally do this on Facebook, you do on LinkedIn. Google display ads, you can't upload emails, but unless you have a large ad spend, but you can still do the tagging, and you can really create that full omnipresence. So when you reach out with your first LinkedIn message or your email, you want to book a call, they've seen your advertisements out there for relatively cheap, but in their mind, you're a lot bigger than you really are, and so it's kind of one of those things where I think, if you roll it into prospecting campaigns, you can see a big return.
All right, so let's do this, but to put this into bite-sized nuggets for most of this audience, we're talking over a lot of people's heads. Not that you all don't get what we're saying conceptually, but walk before you run. So what you should all do, if you haven't, you need to add this to your list to do next week, right? Or to even start on today, is go to Facebook, where there's two things. I mean, LinkedIn, you can see how targeted it is, where you can pick your exact demographic, start with a certain city or your key area. You can pick all sorts of titles. Facebook, really easy. Start by creating a quick basic ad. Use Canva, use InVideo, just something that nice and really simple that you're going to use. Don't spend any money on it. Take your list from your ATS, from whoever your target clients are, and go ahead and upload the entire list. And you create what's called a custom audience in Facebook. All right. And that's all you're going to advertise for. You're not going to do like LinkedIn, where you can do something similar, but where you're going to pick a demographic. You're going to literally say, this is who I want you to try to match. Like, so whatever it is, 5,000, 10,000, try to match this. Facebook's going to use their algorithm where people have used it. They're going to say, aha, it's these people that you want. And you know what? These people that we now, let's say out of 5,000, Facebook's just going to figure out, because they're brilliant with their algorithms. They're going to say, all right, we found out of those 5,000, we found 1,000 of these. We know who they are. And based on those 1,000, we also know that David and Neil are going to be very similar. So you don't have Neil on your list, but we're going to go ahead and hit David. So that's all they'll advertise to. So start with that, because it's simple, right? You're going to upload your list. That's all they're going to do. You're not going to get hit with them marketing to anyone that's not yours. And it's great. Now my screen's frozen, so I hope you heard me.
I heard it.
Yeah, actually,
thank God, because you guys are really frozen. I can't see a thing.
And I will say, if you upload a list, in my experience, you can generally find about 50%. So if I have a list of 5,000, it'll generally match about like half of them.
Because you upload business lists, and people are on Facebook on personal, yet they're able to find a huge amount of these people with their AI.
Yep.
You know,
and I will say this:
how to connect your work to your Facebook when you never even added that as a, like, people could find me by my work thing. It's Neil, my Neil iCloud email, not my business one. I know how they do that.
And what it would suggest too, people are running advertisements like, hey, you need talent, book a call now, and that's okay. But what I found is more effective is, imagine, we content market for a reason, right? Content market doesn't only in front of our audience, but also to educate them, right? Educate them because an informed buyer is more likely to pay me an engagement fee as opposed to using 5 contingency recruiters. I want to inform them over time, and if I'm the one informing them, I'm probably going to get the business. So take that content that you would normally put on LinkedIn and maybe a couple people see. Well, take that and post on a Facebook on your business page and with a picture, let's say, and as a piece of content, and run that actually as a content piece to them. So my philosophy always is take all that content that you have that no one is really seeing unless they're looking for it, and just pay a few cents to put it on their news feed and push it in front of them. Make it look organic. Don't make it look like an ad, a headline. Make it look organic, and just educate your audience that way. And I think it's a good use of just like what you said, Dale. It's a very simple way to start. But it's not just showing an ad like, hey, book a call now. It's really just education. Start pushing your content out, because if you're working on your content and very few people actually see because it's all organic, just pay a few cents or a few dollars and just put it in front of your prospects and educate them that way. That's why I like Facebook ads for even in the recruiting world, as long as you use them right, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Sorry,
We're
Shafiur.
Chatterworks.
No, this is great. It's funny you're talking about all this content marketing stuff. That's the stuff we're figuring out right now as well. So it's great listening to all this. It's a whole different perspective of how to attract and put out information and so forth. So that's great.
Well, the way to look at it, when you look at prospecting, I tell this to the prospects or my clients who work with me in Tactical Accelerator. When you look at your prospecting, all prospecting really is taking your message of pain, a problem, consequences, your solution, here's how I can fix it. Taking that message out, and your LinkedIn, email, phone calls, voicemail drops, live conversations, etc. But advertisements are the same thing, right? Content marketing pieces, a post on LinkedIn, Facebook ad, LinkedIn ad, display ad. All these are just deliver messages, and so your prospecting is really kind of a lot of the ways the same as an advertisement. You delivered a message to a person, making them a little more informed, and offer them a way to talk to you if they so wish. And that's why I think your prospecting and your advertising, you put that together. Like, for example, running ads in conjunction with a like a messaging sequence is really effective, because you just combine it. It's like doing a email, LinkedIn, phone sequence, and you're just adding a couple ads in there, right?
Yeah,
That's all a message,
No, that makes perfect sense.
So
yeah.
I mean, well said.
Well, one thing I do want to do is I want to have Shafiur show us the platform, because if the listeners here want to actually use the platform, let's actually take a look at it. And what am I think Michael here said, do you guys have a price point for cheap ass recruiters? Oh man, $100 per month.
Yeah, the price point is called Walmart. Get a job there. Get out of recruiting. No, I'm joking. That's a fun question.
But tell you what, Shafiur, let's show your screen if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll walk you through it and then show you where we're going in the next 60 days here. Let's see here. Right. So just as typical, I mean, I'm sure everyone's kind of seen how browser extensions work. For example, you have ours installed. You navigate to profiles here on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Blue here means that we have some data on this individual. White will mean we don't have data, so you don't have to worry about opening the extension. But essentially, as you open and you're viewing this profile here, you can see that we have some project management capabilities. So if we're integrated with your ATS, or you can use it as standalone, you'll see that you have all your different companies you're recruiting for, the recruiting projects. You can quickly add them to a project. If you forgot to create one, no worries. We added a new project workflow here as well. And then you can view the contact information, phone number, email addresses. And then also we're developing text messaging functionality, so you could send text messages via our platform as well. That'll be coming out. The aggregated experience and skill sets, even the social profile links where you can just kind of click it. It takes you right to like this. This is Carrie's Twitter page. It's running a little slow, but. And then we added some notes for some feedback. People wanted a quick ability to add date and timestamp notes here. So we added some notes feedback. So it's just convenience, right? The browser extension surfacing data as you're navigating profiles, and notes project management capability. You can even create a resume. So if you hit download a PDF, we'll create a resume for Carrie here that you can email off. And just for some recent feedback for all the LinkedIn Recruiter users, the screen, when you're using Recruiter, it's kind of shifted to the right. So our browser extension hovers above it. So we added this little bit of functionality to where it now flops it to the left side. And now you can use Recruiter in conjunction with our browser extension. And that covers kind of the extension in a sense. Then you have the ability to go deep dive into our search, into our web app, which all these fields are calling Boolean capable. You can save all your searches, build them as complex as you want, and then save them. But I'll kind of give you a quick example of how the Boolean here works.
Now, let's test this out, too. I want to look up Neil and see what kind of info you got on this guy. I don't think there's some dirt.
Yeah.
There's going to be some dirt on this guy.
What's Neil's last name?
Lebovits. I'll be the only one there. L-E-B?
L-E-B.
O-V. And there I go. Yeah, L-E-B. I'm the only Neil Leb.
See if we have anything. I just got an email. And social, Facebook, and Twitter.
Yeah.
Let's see. Email. These are the emails we have.
I can't. It's too small. I can't see.
Yeah, all right, I'll back.
We have. Let's see.
That's how I met him.
Yeah, whatever. Does it have back office staffing solutions there?
It didn't have back office, but this is Facebook.
Yeah, there's my Facebook.
And then back office. So we'll pull it from here when it goes through.
God, I'm handsome. No, go back. It's funny, we were talking about Aladdin. I was told I looked like the genie from Aladdin, and someone told me that. Okay. Or the guy from Pee Wee Herman that played the genie guy. Remember that?
Look at these headshots. They look very good.
Yeah.
You have a look. I'll tell you that. I will admit that you are looking
something.
Are they going back real quick? So this is link. I don't know. Just a quick thing on our web app. So the quick search, as you type in your filters, Boolean structures, whatever you want to do, it'll surface all the information we have right here. I mean, just off these basic keywords, we're rendered over 10,000 results, so to kind of drill down a bit further. And then you can see the information we have on these individuals: phone, email, GitHub, social profiles. You can even kind of view all your active candidates here in a holistic view, where we can see what companies you may have submitted them to, for what roles and the stages. Again, if we're integrated with your ATS, all this will be a two-way sync back and forth, managing all your projects, your companies you're recruiting for. And then where we're, the real interesting part is this right here, what I mentioned to you guys on kind of the social insights and engagement, what we're working on. Let me share it again. Is this. So as we analyze kind of all of this data, our goal, like I mentioned to you, is to tell this individual spends 40% of this time on Twitter, 30% on Instagram, 14% on LinkedIn, 9% on Facebook, and then give you kind of this best chance of connecting or engaging on Tuesdays in the evenings via Twitter.
Well, now, will your algorithm tell you that about me or no?
Yeah.
Say that again.
Well, your algorithm, will you be able to show this page for me now?
Yeah, so so it only works on public profiles, right? So we're not scraping private data, so you have to have kind of a public profile, and we will be able to. So give me like about 30 days. We're testing the Twitter functionality internally right now, and then about 30 days we'll be launching kind of the first phase of this, so we can play and show you guys your profiles.
Now, and I think Neil spends. I think on that activity you'll find like 95% on Grindr.
So we definitely need to bring in additional channels. Yeah, we won't be able to show that.
Is that an upcharge? Is that an upgrade? See that data?
That's
that private data is definitely.
If have all here's Neil's browsing history. This would be that's your business model, dude, and you got to pay to be off of the site.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like a blind.
Yeah, exactly.
Here you go. It's $100 a month to not be listed.
That's a good strategy that way. Here's what everyone can see about you. What do you want to get it off?
Is it weird when I say that I met Neil at a truck stop?
That would be a little weird.
A little weird. Okay. It was the back of the truck stop specifically, in case anybody was wondering.
It's weird, dude. I don't want to be right. I don't want to
Oh,
be
and
a
also
member
we'll be
of the
pulling in,
archive years.
as we're pulling in all of this like public data, we'll be able to kind of go aggregate, like if you've been mentioned in any kind of article or post online, and provide links to all of that stuff as well.
Which that
That's
stuff is just so valuable. Like I belong to a bunch of things like this that's all that they do, and they feed my HubSpot, and it's
Mhm.
wonderful for conversation to be different. It's just amazing. So to have that in there is, I think, priceless. And that's one of the things that Zoom Info has on their gigantic package that makes people pay for it. So you're throwing in an awful lot for a pretty little amount of money, I think. And again, we're not affiliated with you, so I don't care about driving any
Yeah,
door.
we are. Again, we know what all these tools are priced for, and we know there's we're more of a volume. We want to help as many recruiters as we can, and that's why we're going to try and keep it as low. We have a very low lean team, so we don't have much overhead costs, right? So the goal is to just provide a tool that's valuable, and our goal long term is science. Like we want to take all this data, the people data, the interactions, how companies recruit, all that stuff, and be a big kind of intelligence platform.
Yeah.
that's pretty cool, man. Like I said, I will tell you this again. My team has been using it here the last couple of months. It's been a really good, really solid platform. I know they're making it better. So I'm definitely a big fan. So anybody in the Herc, my Facebook group, and Ursa and Recruiters Online, if you guys can sign up. In fact, I'm gonna show the. We're beginning to hear the news here pretty soon, but I'm going to show the sign up link for you guys if you want to check it out. Let's see, it is right over. Here we go. So it's at app.chatterworks.com. So I'm not affiliated, just when you sign up, give them the old Herc hashtag, and that'll be good to go. But app.chatterworks.com, and I think you what 10,000 credits.
Yeah. So we're just running this trial period, giving people access to do whatever they need. When they do convert, they'll have the access to export all that data, and we'll build out the integration with the ATM and so ATSs and CRMs and so forth. But right now, yeah, it's just free access. Test it, play with it. Yeah, we're not kind of limiting what you do on it during this period.
Awesome. All right, now let's do some news. Here we go. What you got, Neil?
The date, February 5th, 2021, in the news today. There we go. Now I got the right date this time. I got it down. Now,
Man.
Our guests are always super impressed at this point of the great production value and cost that we bring. Are you impressed? That we got logo, we got spinning globe. That doesn't come cheap. That's not stock. You don't get a stock spinning globe. You got to pay Shutterstock like $5 to own that rights to that. You got to invest. You know what I'm saying? Same deal with
dollars.
the background. Same deal with the audio we're playing. You don't get that royalty free. The news music.
No.
What that was like $19 we paid on. You're seeing $25 of content that we've invested in for the sheer enjoyment of our guests and of our viewers. Right? I mean, I'm just saying, like, don't take this for granted what we're doing. That's all I'm trying to say. So the news
you got.
Well, I don't have any great surveys. But I have all kind of pretty uplifting news. So I think it's good to know these things so you can talk to clients about it. And all 4 stories about just different positive trends. And I pick what's common and what I'm seeing out there, representative of a lot of the news stories that's going on out there. And so let's talk about this. The NABE, the National Association of Business Economics, found, this was a survey, but the employment situation is absolutely looking up. So forget about being flat or down. 30% of respondents on this survey are increasing employment, right? And that's up from where it was that was optimistic in October, where it was 16%. So, this is, 3-4 months later, and much fewer people looking to decrease staff. Right. So 15% in October, we're going to decrease 10% now. So again, really positive news. And I bring it up because I get asked, how's the market look? I'm sure you do too, David. How's the market looking? Is it still weak? Like it is not weak. It is not. There's no statistic, and we'll go 4 of them today, any which way that should suggest you should be living in COVID, self-pity. It's not true anymore. Stop. Slap yourself if it's happening. Do something different. That's my take.
And the lockdowns are starting to lift. I mean, now that Trump's out of office, now they're lifting lockdown. So very very good time. Anyway, but I will say this, yeah. Dude, the way I say it, that the market looks the way you make it. Make your own market. That's what I say. But I will say this: it is looking up. I mean, on the Kinetic Group side, we're actually seeing a lot of activity there because we're seeing the market pick up. The market's pick up a lot of sectors. Other sectors, it's still pretty shitty, like hospitality and food and beverage, and I get that. But at the end of the day, the market is what you make it.
Right. And that sounds very much, David, like a trainer talking, right? And I mean that, and I totally agree with you. But it sounds like one of those, let me fix your pandemic issues. The point being that you're dead on, though, because it's not just that's a psychological or it's a frame of mind, that's what the market is. It's good. It is good right now. It's going to be much worse in a real recession. It's good. Everything's up. Things aren't even down anymore, and they're up nicely. So in your mind, I think it's if you don't make it that way, that's what's going to happen, right? I think you'll have the self-fulfilling prophecy element to that. That's my view.
But I will say this: it is tough though, and for some, if you made your living last couple of years flipping resumes, you may want to look at what you offer. You may want to look at how you approach the market because it is tough to do that nowadays, like you did, a year or two ago when the market was super, super hot, right? So I think clients are looking to make sure their dollar is invested wisely in a good service. So they want to get a lot of value out of it. So that's one thing is that market is good, but doesn't mean you can be lazy. You got to go out there and change the way you approach your business because there's lots of others out there that are lazy and they're going to be flushed out of the market. And if you don't want to be one of those, then change your approach to the market a little bit and adjust to it. And if you do that, the market is very good. Very good.
What should one's expectation be? I mean, so obviously, Boss, we're pretty new. We're growing unbelievably well. So that's not going to be a really great number just because we don't have, we've been a startup. Our clients, though, are all growing pretty solidly, and people who are down are at worst flat. There's no big decrease. I'll read you, like if you look at Manpower's results, and they put out a press release, they were down in the fourth quarter, but they see a much stronger market environment. They're saying they're seeing a really, really nice bump in the first quarter of the year, and for their numbers, Manpower, it's the largest employer in the United States, and they do temporary
grinder username, by the way, Manpower. Sorry.
Yes, different kind of manpower, though, my boy. Okay. I'm never going to look at them the same. I'm going to tell you that. But so the year-over-year trend. So their revenue is down. Let's take constant currency. Down 6.5%. All right, in constant currency. Meaning you don't have to, and a lot of that you look at it domestically. In the U.S., right? Down 6%. Down. This is billions of dollars. It's $5 billion. It's just massive, right? And that's all. They're basically flat, and they increase over Christmas, and it's all been moving, and like that's nothing. And I'm not saying you want a market where things are down; they're going up. I'm saying with all that business, they barely see a blip. They're a public company; no one wants to see it down, but. No one's complaining. Oh, my temp business is down 5%. Oh, I'm down 20. I'm down 40. It's half. I'm only at I made 400,000 in margin last year. I'm only making 50 this year. You're doing something wrong. My perm, it's down 50%. You're doing something wrong. I don't know.
Preach, brother.
All right. How about this one?
The back office solutions is what I'm trying to say. That's what Neil's trying to say. Be a boss recruiter.
Congressional Budget Office says the economy and the labor market are rebounding more quickly than expected. All right, the Budget Office, right? Now I know you're going to say, David, well, of course they said that because Trump's out of office. Now they're going to have to say that. Whatever it is, right? They think that GDP overall, by the middle of this year, should return to pre-pandemic size. By size, not by growth. right? And the labor force could rebound to pre-COVID levels, right? 2022. You're talking about a great period of time to be in business right now, brother. So what I'm saying is, come to me, let me feel you. That's the news. That's what I got.
My outlook is good. I wouldn't say it's going to be quite as rosy as that. You know, at least not pre-pandemic. I don't see we're quite seeing us humming quite as we were pre-pandemic levels where it was hot. It'll take a while to get there.
Where did you get your economic studies from? Where was it? London School of Economics, or was it Harvard? Where was it?
I did call this recession, and that is verifiable. In the Lighthouse Method Guide 3 years ago, I called it to the month. I didn't call the coronavirus, but I called early 2020 significant downturn.
Yeah, I will tell you, just even from our launch, right?
I would argue that you didn't call it then, because it was all caused by the virus. So you lucked into that one. You know what I mean? It's kind of like playing pool, right? It's like playing 8-ball.
I mean, the signs were there to be it just the massive debt and print money and the banking system. Like I don't want to go details here, but I saw it happening. But the COVID,
you know what I mean?
The product broke the back, basically.
Nah. If you play baseball, right, and you're playing with someone good, and they're saying, all right, they're trying to get the one ball in the corner pocket, and they miss the thing, the balls go everywhere, and it bounces off, and they almost scratch, and one of the other balls happens to hit the white ball, and it goes in. Where I come from, you lose your turn. Yeah, the ball went in. You didn't call it. That wasn't what you planned on doing.
That's slop. If you call the shot and you're complaining about that, it's usually what the losers say. I'm just saying, that's what you're like, oh, man, well, technically, you know, all right, whatever.
Yeah. No, I'm saying if you want, like, that wasn't what you planned. You didn't plan on hitting 4 bumpers and knock the 3 ball in. Let's say the 3 ball. That wasn't your plan. You were going for the 1 ball. You had a horrible shot. You don't get to go again because you got lucky on that does, you know what I mean? That's the way some people say, oh, you got your ball and you go again. No. At least that's how us New York Jews play it.
Call the shot.
All right, but let's say you don't call the shot. Let's say you don't call, most people don't call the shot, right? Let's say you don't call it. You're aiming for the 1 ball in the corner pocket and you scratch just about, and it accidentally hits the 3 ball and it goes into the other pocket. A lot of people go, oh, got a ball in. I continue to go. And I'm like, no, you don't. That was a horrible shot, and we won't pull it out. We'll let you keep that in there because you can't with the quarters in the bar. But sorry, you move on to the show.
He called it.
No, that makes me really angry what you're saying. I don't appreciate this.
Called it.
Wow.
But you hot single. Called it. Yeah. You hot track. Dropping.
I have the feeling I wouldn't win the argument with you when we played billiards. Or pocket ball.
Man. I love you, Neil. Anyway, so what else you got in the news? What else we got?
Listen, I picked those 4 stories. There's one other. It was less rosy, but still nonetheless, I thought some good overall news that they had there, and that was that the January jobs from ADP. Which is always a great, people use ADP all the time, being the largest payroll provider. They continue still a slow recovery overall, but it's growing regularly. But it's more that what they're seeing in their breakout is that these larger firms, and we've talked about the impact of some of these larger firms before, but they're now feeling a really prolonged impact because of COVID, right? So, and they're saying, look, private sector jobs increased recently by 174,000 for them in January, right? So that's slow according to what you'd want in a real recovery, right? And it's better than what it was, where there was a loss of jobs, if everyone remembers, that they had in December. But we were seeing 400,000. And again, it's affected by the unemployment and the loss of jobs during COVID, but you had 400,000 that they saw increase in October, almost 300,000 just about in November. So, it's a slow recovery. It's still in the headwind and things are better and it's stable is kind of the point. And it's growing, back to our other points, not decreasing. But you're not to your point, I guess you're not seeing that like robust, my God, things are just bustling and this is crazy. That's not what's happening. So I think it's a good bit of information there,
Well, Shafiur, what say you? What are your thoughts on the economy coming back?
No, I think 2020 was shot for us. For example, we had a couple hundred recruiters just signed up during our initial launch. We are just doing a private launch. I think I mentioned this to you, but we're going to do it in March, right? So come into February, the whole world just goes on lockdown. And I kid you not when I say this, all 200 of those recruiters that we reach out to try it out and get feedback, they're like, there's nothing to try it for. We have no more recs, right? We're all hiring's on hold, and all of them, 100% of our initial traction was that way. And then come our launch in November now, it's a different story for us. Like people are recruiting, the jobs are, people are hiring. Come in January and February now. I feel like 2021 is going to be on this upward trend for sure, because we're seeing it with how many different. I mean, like I said, we're small right now. We only have about 650 recruiters on the platform now, but all of them are actually actively hiring, right? Versus where we were 6 months ago when they really weren't hiring. So yeah, I do believe 2021 will end up more positive. We'll see this. I don't know how quickly, but we are seeing on our side at least that people are back, they're hiring, they're looking for tools and finding good people and all that good stuff.
And now, I have no idea because unlike these two, I did not have an education or degree in economics. So I don't know. I could just report you facts from other experts. So
I'm no expert, but I could just tell from our usage.
No, totally.
So, I do have one more news story real quick. We'll make it really quick. And Elon Musk is being investigated for discriminatory practice apparently because there was somebody who had applied who was a non-U.S. citizen and not a lawful resident.
I saw that.
And he's being, which for anybody in IT, we all know, what do we always ask candidates? We had to figure out, are you on a visa? Are you an H-1? Are you a green card holder? Are you a U.S. citizen? And here, our boy Elon,
amazing.
Mars is being sued for following the law. Apparently, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't think he cares too much. I don't think he's gonna lose too much momentum on this. I think he'll hire someone to handle it, and even if let's say he gets fined $10 million for it, like, all right, here you go. $10 million for him is like, here you go, get this here, take a $10 bill, keep the change from lunch, and that is, it's like big deal.
It's not like Elon Musk. I mean, he had the big middle finger to California. Tesla's leaving. He's been talking shit about the media. I think the media is not like him. So I think they're roasting him for basically just a bullshit case. But anyway, if my boy Elon's going to get us to Mars. That said, I think we are running out of time for this show, guys. It is 1 o'clock here. So that's it. Let's do this. Neil, do you have any parting words for our audience here?
Just, hey, listen, temp business, do it. Allow back office staffing solutions to be your employer of record. Or if you're doing it on your own, we got tons of online solutions. Stuff that ain't out there, call us. Contact me. Tell you see on the show, and we'll get you free steak knives that come with it. No joke. For you.
That's great.
Yeah.
In third place, you're fired. Remember that? All right, and Shafiur, any final words, any plugs you want to throw in there?
We're, like I said, our goal is here to help. So use us. Feel free to sign up. Like I said, it's free access right now, and we're actually here to help. So if you send us kind of your job rec, key points about the rec, we'll help build out those Boolean searches for you and send them to you, and then you can just save it in your profile and run them as you like or edit them. So we're not just use a tool and disappear. We're here to help you become better and help us become better in that process too.
Awesome. All right, and then for my plugs, so if you want to get a price on Accelerator or Tactical, my two higher level programs, you can go to digitaleditor.com/assessments. If you are interested in getting Tactical Link, our LinkedIn automation tool, that is going live in public next week. So go to my website /link, and I'm still running a 50% off sale for the sales bootcamp, digitaleditorbootcamp.com. And that is it, folks. That's all my plugs I'm going to do for the day. That's it, everybody. Thank you for watching the show. It's been a pleasure. Neil, it's been a thing. Shafiur, thank you very much for appearing. And sorry.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Great meeting you guys.
Yeah, you too.
All right. All right.